This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English. This is Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Oh, we love to make you a big part of our show. And for that, we go to our big, sweet baby Jane.
There you go. Sweet. How sweet it is. 219 stations is where you're finding us. And you can find us across the globe on American Forces Network. And you can go to our social media. Okay. Go to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Click on where to watch and, find yourself, okay? But you can also you can also sound off on our favorite question of the day. Are you ready?
What is it?
Here we go. What's something about yourself you're still figuring out?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I think you have to do this every day. I feel, for me, all right, I can't say everybody has to do it. I think if you're not learning something about yourself every day, then or discovering it and you're realizing it, a lot of times I put myself down and I'm like, I'm such an idiot. You do that enough times, you really start to think you're an idiot.
Right.
So,
Sure.
So you can't say that you don't do this, where you go, all right, what's something I can do better, or like, why am I feeling this way? So I would say, I'm still figuring things out, but I'm taking the time to figure them out.
Yeah.
I'm not any better than anybody else. It's just something I don't let it. I go, all right. And I've mentioned this on the show before. It's all about projection. Like, why am I taking it on this way? And so analyzing.
Yeah, I think it's on that same note, I think it's important to kind of, learn a little bit more about yourself, or if you're struggling or you're finding a certain pattern in your life that's not working.
Patterns, there you go.
That you recognize that and you figure out, how can I change my perspective? How can I shift my thoughts regarding that particular situation and maybe try and get a new angle?
So more or less learning about yourself every day.
I suppose so, yeah.
And that's the beauty of life, right? You get a chance to do that every day you wake up to make things better and move in the right direction, right? If you didn't, it would just be boring.
That is true.
Like, I like seeing Hugo in his little tight sweaters.
Oh, wow. This just totally took a left turn. Okay.
But no, just make life fun. So I get
true.
it. It's just you're always figuring it out. Nothing is set in stone.
Well, and I think too, like there's a part of just being upfront and honest with life, and sometimes it's the most embarrassing moments in your life that might lead you to a whole new different avenue, right?
I got one too. I got one. Yeah, Shaq's mom. So I tell my wife, I'm like, dang, she looks like my mom. We go up, spoke to Shaq, took a picture with him later. All right, how you doing, James? All right, man, let me go talk to your mom. Walk to his mom. Name drop. But anyway, walked to his mom, and the first thing out my ex-wife's mouth, you look like my husband's mother. I was sitting there. He said, you look at him sitting like, oh my God, that's something that told you in confidence. Now she knows. She's like, James. I'm like, yes, ma'am. So yeah, the Odessa Chambliss Foundation. That's it. That's where it was. It's one of those.
That's where you met.
That's where
Shaq?
I met his mom.
Shaq's mom.
Yep, we've had her on several times.
It's important to do that. I mean, if you aren't changing something and you staying the same, you need to look back. And when you have kids, you do this a lot. You're especially your kids will tell you what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But they don't know why you did it the way you did it, and then they don't want to hear about why you did it that way. But you're like, okay, it's all about, I am projecting something that is not true about who I am. So why are they seeing that? So. Yeah. I try to keep that in mind.
Have you reached that moment with your kids yet where they're like, I get what you were saying?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, I've had several instances of that. My oldest especially is like, when you hear, yeah, Dad, you were right. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Like the parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah. And I tell them right now, the age that they are at, I had 4 kids already, right?
Isn't that crazy to think?
And then my daughter, who is turning 26 this year, I had 3 kids by her age. And I'm like, I look at them, I go, I'm so glad you don't have kids right now because I was your age. And I'm like, I get it.
I don't know how you did it.
So You got to be willing to change, I think, is the
Yeah.
biggest thing, and not be stuck in your ways.
Very true. All right, question of the day. What's something about yourself you're still figuring out? dailyflashshow.com is the website. Sound off. Share your thoughts. We'd love to share them on the air as well. Do you guys do the fast food breakfast?
James, do you?
No,
his mom does and drops it off.
I got one in the back too.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Every once in a while, I'm not buying into Taco Bell breakfast, but
No.
it depends on like how much of a hurry I'm in.
All right. Well, fast food chains are coming under the microscope for their breakfast foods, namely their eggs. Take a listen to this.
Went to Dunkin' and what is this? Paint the yolk on. That's crazy. That's so disgusting. And the crazy part, she's right, it is painted on. Let me explain. Dunkin's egg patty has 10 different ingredients. What they do is they separate the whites from the yolks and mix them with soybean oil, water, cornstarch, xanthan gum, cellulose gum, and citric acid. Then they brush the yolk back on as a thin layer to make it look like a real cracked egg. Clearly, by the looks of it, that's not fooling anyone. The citric acid locks the color in place so it doesn't turn gray sitting in the freezer. That's why it peels off like freaking paint, because it was quite literally painted on. Now, the third ingredient that's listed on this thing is soybean oil. You walk into Dunkin' thinking you're getting normal eggs for breakfast, you are having a highly processed, highly inflammatory meal loaded with omega-6 fats before 9 a.m. and you didn't even know about it. A real egg has one ingredient. This science experiment needs 10. Just keep that in mind next time you're in the drive-thru.
I think he stopped by Dunkin' and got a lot of caffeine.
He did too.
He's passionate
Or
about it,
Starbucks.
right?
One or the other. What's so crazy about
Oh
this
my God.
is Dunkin's not the only one. So how do the other fast food chains compare?
Okay.
So here's a quick ranking of the top 5 from the most real to the most processed. So Wendy's tops the list for the most real eggs in their breakfast meals.
Okay.
McDonald's also, they've got a folded egg that counts as a real egg. Taco Bell, Burger King, they're kind of middle of the road here. But the bottom two, Starbucks and Dunkin', Starbucks surprised me, but Dunkin' as well, obviously he just kind of explained, use similar processes with regard to the eggs that they put in their breakfast sandwiches. Bottom line, almost all fast food eggs are processed for safety, shelf life, consistency. Dunkin' stands out for the extra seed oils, the gums, and the fake-looking yolks. Now, if you want the closest thing to a real egg, go for McDonald's Egg McMuffin or ask for a freshly cracked egg where available. I don't know where that's going to be available at a fast food joint,
wow.
but there you
You know,
go.
the most simplest thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they said, the only ingredient in egg is one thing.
Yeah.
And I was intrigued by what he was saying, but they separate the egg from the yolk.
Yeah.
Why?
And then they process it, and then they paint the yolk back on with a mixture of. If I understand what it was
is it so they can get more out of it? Or?
I don't know. And to me, I think after I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness! Like I've indulged in fast food breakfast sandwiches because you're thinking, okay, it's egg. How bad can it be?
Right.
But then you realize how many ingredients are in that
That's
one
too
egg.
much. And when people go into the conspiracy of something in our food, oh yeah, of course there is.
There
Because
is.
you got to paint on,
Right.
you got to dress up in the egg in order to make it look editable for the average consumer.
Can I go back to say that this kind of goes along with about the push of, and there's conspiracy, if you want to call it that, about always hearing how breakfast is the most important meal of the day, which was actually more of a marketing campaign back in the early 1800s. So, once I kind of bought into that, I'm like, you're right. Like, I eat, I'm like, well, I better eat breakfast. You ever get that way?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's like, I'm not really hungry, but I got to eat breakfast. And I think we need to start paying attention to, listening to our bodies more, which kind of goes back to our question of the day.
That is true. Another point I found when I did some research on this story is one of the popular chicken restaurants, Chick-fil-A, I guess we should say, your chicken sandwich, you would think is like, it's just chicken. But I think there were something like 50 odd ingredients just within the chicken sandwich.
I believe
I can't hear it. Blasphemy.
I know,
Blasphemy.
and I love Chick-fil-A, but I love Starbucks, and I love Dunkin'. I mean, I love them all. But then you hear this, and you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should rethink
the
this.
words fast food, number one, tells you. And something that I've always, if it's fast and delicious, it's not good for you.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true. That's true. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that 3 thing, good, fast, or cheap, those sort of things.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. And I think with food, a lot of times you'll do that. Good food is not, unfortunately, is not cheap.
No.
And it's probably,
And it's not
might not going to be
fast.
fast. Right, exactly. So, if you're going there thinking, well, I need a hearty breakfast because that's what the commercials teach you and brainwash you into doing that. Not saying don't go there, but just know that you're not really getting a healthy breakfast.
Right.
So what do you think knowing all this now, will force more people to go home and cook?
You'd like to think so. I will think twice about doing the drive-through breakfast sandwich from here on
We don't
out.
have
To
time
be
to
honest
talk
with
about
you.
it, but you generally think Starbucks probably is
Yes.
healthier.
Oh my gosh.
No.
But
Blasphemy.
I'm sure they have the same issue.
Same issue. Same issue as Duncan. Yeah.
All right. Here's our brain flash question of the day. What was the name of the fictional high school in the movie Grease?
It's not news. It's not nonsense. It's that weird place in between. Opinion-ish. Coming soon.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's brain flash question right. Here is the question. What was the name of the fictional high school in Greece? All right. If you didn't know it, the answer is Rydell High. Rydell High in the movie Grease. Well, Americans are battling long job searches, and they are quickly burning through their savings to stay afloat. So what should you do if you find yourself in the same predicament? Here with more insight is Jacob Zinkula from Business Insider. Jacob, great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So why do you think in your research and reporting that job searches right now are lasting so long?
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly simple in that businesses aren't hiring nearly as much as they were a few years ago. And there are a lot of factors driving this. One is that economic uncertainty, including policy changes like tariffs, has made some companies hesitant to scale up their workforces. Another explanation is that some businesses did a lot of their hiring a few years ago. During the period, you might remember some people call it the Great Resignation, when workers were switching jobs at high rates. Companies ramped up hiring, and that surge is one reason hiring levels are comparatively slower now. AI also could be playing a role. While it's uncertain how many businesses are replacing workers with AI, it seems at least clear that some are at least assessing the impact of AI on their businesses and holding off on too much hiring until they have a clearer sense.
I know the financial experts always say have at least 6 months worth of living expenses saved up, and that can be hard for most of us. How are savings getting depleted so fast?
Yeah, obviously, when someone gets laid off, what they receive in terms of severance pay and their unemployment benefits can vary considerably depending on their employer and the state they live in. So not everyone can rely on these things to cover their expenses. So people have to turn to their savings during their job searches. And as anyone knows, when you don't have income coming in, your savings can get depleted really quickly. And this is always the case, but especially given some of the strong inflation of recent years that have pushed up prices of things like food and housing.
Yeah, and it's tough if you're faced with having to tap into that 401k. It just seems like once you start down that path, it's hard to get back. What are the biggest challenges that you see in today's labor market and in your reporting?
Yeah, I think a big challenge is that people are growing frustrated. Some people think that they're applying to tons of jobs. Some people feel like there's a lack of a human connection, that are the resumes being reviewed by a human, are they just sending them into the void? People feel like, there's certain strategies like networking that, people want to try, but it doesn't always play out, doesn't always work out. So basically there's a lot of competition and a lot of demand and not necessarily a very high supply of roles right now. And that's just creating a lot of headaches and frustration for people.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns. And then when you're applying through some of these job websites, it's this magical algorithm that you've got to hit just right, it seems, in order just to have somebody see your resume. What role do you think the Federal Reserve plays here when it comes to jobs and interest rates? I know it's all kind of an interesting mesh.
Yeah, so I would say rising interest rates in recent years have, made borrowing more expensive for businesses, which can slow investment in hiring. There is some debate among economists about how much interest rate changes directly impact companies' hiring decisions. Whereas, if you're looking to buy a home, like higher rates will lead to higher mortgage rates generally, which is definitely going to make buying a home more expensive. It's a little bit less straightforward with the job market, but it definitely is a factor at play.
Yeah, it's interesting how you see how the interest rate plays into so many different facets in our life. What advice do you have for struggling job seekers right now?
Yeah, one of my top pieces of advice is to talk to whoever you can, whether it be friends, family, or people at companies of interest. Ask about open roles and stay in touch, because those connections can make a difference. However, building new connections can take a lot of work and patience. I've had job seekers tell me they hear back from about 5% of the people they reach out to on LinkedIn. So if you contact a lot of people and have little luck, that's normal, but it can be still worthwhile. And I guess lastly, I just say not to be afraid to ask for help. Job searching can be really isolating. And I think many of us would prefer just to kind of quietly find a job on our own and not really have to ask for much advice or support from others. But in today's market, going at it alone can be pretty tough, both mentally and also in terms of actually finding a job.
Yeah, it's so difficult. That's a great point, Jacob, because I think so many of us, our identity is definitely tied to what we do for work and our jobs. So it does make things somewhat difficult. Jacob, great to chat with you. Good insight here. We're going to share this interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI. Jacob, thanks once again, and Business Insiders, where you can find more information.
Thank you there, Jackson. Some trending news story. I'm actually kind of happy about this because the Garden State, New Jersey, flipping the script. You'll understand why that makes sense. And ordering public schools to bring back cursive writing.
Yes.
Cursive. That's all starting next fall. And one of his final acts as governor, Phil Murphy, actually signed a new law requiring students in 3rd through 5th grades to actually learn cursive. He believes the move will help students with the basic skills like opening a bank account and signing checks later in life. It could happen. Cursive was generally kicked to the curb in 2010 when the outlandish Common Core standards were forced into districts. New Jersey is one of the number of states that are ditching Common Core and bringing back common sense, some say, and cursive back to their curriculum. It's something I appreciate. You guys know I appreciate handwriting altogether.
You have such beautiful handwriting.
And you know why I do.
Yeah.
I've told you this story, is that my 4th grade teacher told me I had horrible handwriting,
Yeah.
and it hurt my feeling really bad, and I started working on it all the time. However, if it's fast notes, I'll write in cursive,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I know it, but I'm still, as you can see here with my notes, I'm all capital letters and that sort of thing. I'm kind of happy to see it coming back.
Me too. I'm a combination of cursive and print, so I kind of write half and half.
Okay.
But when I went back home, my mom had saved a lot of stuff from my childhood years,
cool.
and I looked at some of my handwriting. I'm like, oh my God, I had beautiful handwriting in school, because they really made a point of taking that handwriting class and really sticking with it, and it was more of an art form.
It really is. I think you get to a point where you think, nobody cares, but
They do.
They do care, indeed.
Yeah.
More Flash after this. We're talking about fixing the healthcare system where we return. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you received a handwritten thank you note, or maybe actually you just wrote one yourself? It's probably been a while, hasn't it? Well, studies show that expressing gratitude in writing doesn't just make someone feel appreciated, it also can boost your mental well-being and even actually help your career. Our next guest, Erica Gerard-Dibona, has a new book out. It's entitled A Letter is Better, The Art of Thank You. And she joins us now from Los Angeles. Hello there, Erica, and welcome to Daily Flash.
Thank you so much. How do you?
All right, here's the thing. It is, it's not done in schools anymore. They don't teach them how to write cursive. They don't teach any more of this. But there is something about getting a handwritten note. What are you saying that some of these benefits are of actually receiving those notes that are handwritten?
I think what you said, the fact that it's not being done anymore adds to its rareness.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's unusual to receive something in the mail to begin with, let alone something that's been written by hand, or as I do it, typed on a typewriter or on a computer with a cool font. It's anti-AI, really. It's bringing us back to old school, and it has more impact, I believe.
I believe so too. Handwriting, anybody that knows me, is a big deal in my life. When I was 4th grade, my teacher told me I had bad handwriting, so I always worked on it. So I really tried my handwriting, and it's something I appreciate a lot. Now, I know not everybody does it, but it's interesting. Your thoughts on the fact, like when you get a note, you can get somebody's personality, I feel, out of a handwritten note more than you would read just of a text, say a computer, email, or in some cases, I guess, a typed out letter. Is that true or not?
I think it's very interesting to get something that's been handwritten. There's a lot of people that do analysis of handwriting, and I think there's a computer program now, an app that you can even write your name in, and it'll analyze your handwriting for you and tell you your personality. But like I just gave a copy of my book to Jane Fonda, and she wrote me back a card, and I was so thrilled. I never even talked to her before, and I could see her loopy handwriting and her name in a big Jane with an XO, and that was thrilling for me. That was much better than a text or an email ever would have been. And I'll be keeping that card.
Yes, I was about to say suitable for framing, whereas an email you can't really frame, doesn't get the same impact. I want to talk a little bit about how important it is, because this day and age, a lot of people going to job interviews and even doing job searching, or even after a great dinner. Let's talk about how important it is to actually maybe do that handwriting thank you note, or just even a note.
I think that any form of appreciation is important. That you can write after a great dinner, you can get the name of the general manager or the owner and write to him or her or them. You can also get the name of your waiter and write about them.
Yeah.
And it's the next time you go in, trust me, they'll remember you more than the person who's standing in line behind you. I also do it for dentists and for doctors. They put it in their file, and when I come back, they'll thank me for it. And I know I'm the only patient that's going home after an appointment to thank them. And think of how much we all need a little bit of grace once in a while.
I agree with you. You say that there is a 3-paragraph format that crafts a well-written thank you note. And I think 3 paragraphs, boy, where am I going to go? But is this an easy thing to do?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
And I crafted that idea because people get paralyzed and they don't even know where to start. So my paragraphs are me, you, and us.
Okay.
I started with the word when. So that's my trigger word. It's what makes me think of when I received the gift, when I had the interview with you, when the door opened and the flowers arrived. It puts me in that moment. I also don't put the gift away. I don't eat it. I don't wear it. I don't hide it until I've written that note, because it keeps me fresh thinking about it and remembering the senses that I had when I had that feeling. Then the second paragraph is me, you,
okay.
You. And you is about my reaction to you. And it's where it's what I call the secret sauce, or it's a little bit of love about you. You are really the gift. And that's why this letter is important. It's not just what you did for me. It's also what I saw in our interaction and how I appreciated that you appreciate handwriting and that you were so enthusiastic about welcoming me to the show. And it's all about you and my reaction to you. And then the third paragraph is us, where I tie us together and take us into the future and say, I hope that we can do this again together, or that I'm going to write you a thank you and hope that you write me one back, or whatever you want to do to move it forward. That's the us paragraph. And then I always save the words thank you for the end.
Yes.
I don't put it at the beginning because that blows the lead.
You're right on that. Let's say you're not comfortable with your handwriting. Should that stop you?
No, I think if you don't like your handwriting, and a lot of us have handwriting, unlike you, handwriting that's diminished over the years, or that we never were really very good at. And as you said, some kids aren't even learning how to write anymore with cursive. So put it on the computer. I've gotten great letters from people that they use a very big font, they underline it, they put XOXO, and it still feels very personal. And it's an easy to read document. And that I think is encouraging to people. We're not Emily Post anymore. As you said, handwriting is really unusual anymore. And so it doesn't have to be only handwritten.
Very, very good points here. And if you want to find out more info, check out her book, A Letter is Better. We'll have this link on our website as well.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with James Alexander, who's got his eye on our stations across the nation.
Yeah, all 219 stations across the country and across the globe with the American Forces Network. Now, you can watch us on all our streaming channels and go to our website, dailyflashshow.com, where you can click on where to watch.
Okay.
All right. So our local friend today comes from Helena, Montana.
All right.
Great. There you go.
Fix that country.
KXLH-TV and Helena, Montana. And Helena, you got some secrets.
Oh,
Yeah,
secrets,
tell me
Real
about
okay.
that.
secrets, all right? Helena once had more millionaires per capita than anywhere else.
Really?
How, Helena?
Ooh.
How in the hell?
Helena?
Helena's up there cheating on somebody. All right. She was founded by, I'm saying she now, okay? So it is now.
Okay.
She was
She.
founded by 4 gold seekers called the 4 Georgians.
Okay.
Okay. And she's nicknamed the Queen City of the Rockies.
Ooh,
Can imagine
the
that.
Queen
Queen
City,
City.
Montana.
When you have all that many millionaires, you better have
That's it.
queens there as
Something.
well.
Yeah, right?
Cincinnati, I think, is just Queen City, so I
Right,
guess maybe it's similar.
The
to
Queen City of
Yeah,
the
the
Rockies.
Rockies.
There you go. All right now, Helena.
All right, jump. And by the way, anywhere you're listening and watching our show, we want to definitely hear from you. So why don't you drop us an email, say, hey, I'm listening to you, and yada, yada, yada city. We love hearing from you. And maybe you're going to be flying to Helena. How about that?
Ooh.
Maybe you might want to think about dressing up, especially if you're coming and flying out of Tampa, because the pajama party might be over wink, wink, at Tampa International Airport. Passengers kind of panicked following what some were calling a full-blown fashion emergency unfolding at the gates inside of the Florida airport. TPA posted about making a move to ban Crocs and pajamas for all travelers. Now, Tampa International is having fun with the current conversation around what people are wearing when they fly. But their posts on X, it's just a fun way to engage with their followers, but it brings out a more important point, I think, that you might hear a lot, especially from us. It's just, we've just given up. People have just given up from traveling about wearing and the decorum of it. And I've always said you are how you dress. And I like that Tampa International finally, joking or not, at least brought it out so that we can talk about it.
The fact that people had a panic attack over this post, it says so much about where we are these days. I mean, we've surrendered to the slop. It's like we don't mind going to the airport in pajamas and Crocs. At what point did that become okay? I'm sorry, but is it not too much to ask people just to step up their game a little bit?
Yeah,
right, James,
I agree with you on the PJs. Leave my Crocs alone. I want to wear my Crocs because I know going through security, I got to take off all my shoes. I got to take this out, take that out, put my bag in. The Crocs are easy on, easy off. But I agree with everything else because there has to be a certain level of decorum. And
I don't think they necessarily have. I think they wanted to make it kind of a broad
I know,
with
just a
Crocs.
joke.
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
Too. I wouldn't wear them in the airport because to me they're hard to walk in. First
The
off.
Crocs?
Yeah, I don't.
So
they
soft.
squeak because it's that
We gotta
rubber.
get you some,
Which,
man.
by the way, the rubber that is just like rubber in a car tire. My wife, is all about. Those are in a landfill for millennium.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, they're made, but they're durable. So that's all if you want to look at it that way. But should airports come out? I mean, who is the deciding factor of what you should wear? You hear it all the time. People wearing offensive T-shirts or low-cut shirts and that sort of thing.
But I think it gets to a point where it's a safety hazard as well because you shouldn't be wearing PJs or anything that could stop you if you're sitting in an exit row to stop you from opening up that exit row. And so I think there has to be some sort of limit to what
So
you
my
should.
pajama top would get in the
guidelines.
way of
That's
opening
right.
up
Or a bonnet. Those
Or a
bonnets.
bonnet.
Blind just eyes, blind eyes.
All right. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop us an email, flashdailyflashshow.com.
It's not news. It's not nonsense. It's that weird place in between. Opinion-ish. Coming soon.
Hey, I was at CES 2026, and if you don't know, that is where you get to see the newest and coolest electronics, some really incredible tech. And one of the coolest discoveries is this Asus computer. It's the ROG Flow Z13. Asus recently collaborated with Kojima, and it has taken gaming and computing to a whole new, fun level. Here's what I learned.
This is the ROG Flow Z13 KJP edition. So this is our we call it the world's most powerful gaming tablet, right? It's got a detachable keyboard, right? It's got a SD card slot, replaceable storage, anything that you could want for really portable, on-the-go work, and play. But the kind of star of the show this year is that we've created a special edition of it in collaboration with Kojima Productions, which is one of the biggest names in gaming today.
So if you're a gamer, you know who Kojima is.
Yes, if you think of like the most famous movie directors you can think of, like Hideo Kojima is that for gamers. He is an absolute visionary in the space, and so fans of his are gonna flock to this in droves.
What is his influence on this machine? What can we actually see?
So he has this very distinct visual style, and he works with an art director named Yoji Shinkawa on all of his projects, who also has a very distinct style as well. And so when you look at what we've done with this device, the color scheme is all new.
Let's show folks.
All these kind of cool, futuristic, clean lines, the use of carbon fiber here, that's all new for this device. If you flip up this hinge, you'll see a lot of these other influences down here. All of this is kind of based on their design, the kind of the mascot of their production company, and the video games that they've created also use a lot of that aesthetic style as well. It's extremely recognizable.
Okay, ROG, we need to explain this because gamers, of course, know what it is, but maybe those that might be a little bit newer to it.
Sure.
Explain what ROG is all about.
ROG is all about providing the highest performance gaming experiences to people, not only in the PC space. We primarily work in the PC gaming space, but also for people playing on console and Xbox at home and things like that as well.
All right, and so gamers are going to love this, but you had mentioned about creators. This is like on the go. You can take this pretty much anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And also to kind of feels like a little bit of a tablet feel as well.
It is. That's what's so cool about it is you can use it kind of like this with the keyboard attached, like a laptop if you want to. It's got this great big touchpad on it. You're going to be very familiar using that. But, you can also detach the touchpad, have it stand on its own, and, grab a controller and play that way. So this is using one of AMD's new Strix Halo chips. What it means is that the graphics and the CPU are all on a single chip. Traditionally, that's not what we do with a lot of gaming devices. They have a separate dedicated chip for graphics. But on this, because it's all on one chip, but still extremely powerful, you get actually roughly the same performance as you would get on some of those dedicated chips, but with better battery life and power efficiency because you only have to drive that one chip. And then the other cool thing is that it shares the RAM, the memory, with the rest of the system. So we actually put 128 gigs of RAM in this, which is a huge amount. But what you can do is that you can split that up however much you want between the system and the graphics and say, I want to do really high resolution gaming, or maybe I want to work with local language models and do AI work because I'm at programming AI stuff. I want to dedicate a ton of memory to that. You can do all that with this machine. Again, versatility and being able to kind of tune things how you want them for the task at hand.
Pretty cool, right? Well, the ROG Flow Z13 is pretty special because it's one of the only devices that is simultaneously a tablet, a full Windows gaming PC, a 2-in-1 laptop, and expandable to desktop-level GPU power. Let's not forget, the ROG Flow Z13 is powerful for a small device, has a high refresh rate touchscreen, and it is very portable. What's cool is that it also includes Microsoft Super Resolution. That's an AI-powered image upscaling feature that enhances, even enlarges low-resolution images by up to 8 times. Yes, 8 times. That reduces blur and pixelation. Now, you can find out more information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
Spring is here and we are talking skincare tips, tricks, and beauty buys to help you achieve your best skin at any age. Beauty expert and director of education at IT Cosmetics, Desiree Zeroli, joins us with more. Desiree, what should we know as our skin starts to change?
So at IT Cosmetics, we do things differently. And as our skin matures and changes, we also need to evolve our makeup and our skincare routines. So if you've ever looked in the mirror and noticed that your skin is dry, it's parched, or maybe you don't have that firmness that you used to have, your skin doesn't have that bounce back that it used to have, or maybe it's just an unevenness to your skin tone or years of sun damage. I have brought today for you our 2 #1 best-selling products from IT Cosmetics. We have our CC cream, which is a 7-in-1. It is the #1 best-selling SPF foundation in America for the last couple years. And we also have Confidence in a Cream. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand, on the back of Roxanne's hand, because I really want you to experience this texture. So when you put this on, you only need a little bit. You're going to massage it into your skin and know that at IT Cosmetics, We developed this with dermatologists, so it is clinically studied and proven to address the top 10 signs of aging every time you put it on your skin.
So when updating our beauty routine, where do you think we should start?
Well, you definitely want to make sure that you're using multitaskers, not only to save on money and to save on time, but you also want to make sure that they're efficacious and you want to make sure they're working and delivering. So Confidence in a Cream, like I said, 10-in-1. It's going to address the top 10 signs of aging. And CC Cream is a 7-in-1. This is the shade Rich, which I'm going to use for our beautiful model, Roxanne. I'm in the medium shade. You can start in the center of the face and then just smooth it outward. What you can see is that it's instantly covering and evening out any discoloration that you might have. But what you don't see is all the skincare that's flooding and treating the skin underneath. And it even includes an SPF of 50.
And what other news can you share, Desiree?
Well, I think that we have something very special happening right now. We have just reduced the prices of our #1 best-selling products to make them more accessible to you if you've ever wanted to try them or maybe you want to stock up. But now our Confidence in a Cream, which was $59, is now $49, and the CC Cream is only $39.
Where can we find more information on these products?
Oh, absolutely. You want to go to itcosmetics.com, but we also have a lot of retail partners where you can find these 2 bestsellers. So make sure you check it out.
Thanks again for joining us. We'll post this information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
Mother's Day is almost here. Joining us now with some great ideas to celebrate every kind of mom is lifestyle expert Marisa Brani.
Mother's Day is almost here, and I've partnered with some great brands to help you find the perfect gift. This year, it's all about choosing something that feels personal and actually fits into mom's everyday life. One idea I love is from Funko. Their Pop Yourself experience lets you create a fully customized collectible figurine that actually looks like mom, capturing her personality in a fun, memorable way she can keep for years. We're also seeing a big focus on practical gifts. Jackery offers portable power stations that can keep essentials running during outages or power devices on the go. They're quiet, easy to use, and designed for real life. Just Google Jackery to learn more. And for something simple that makes a big difference, check out Water Drop. Their M6H system helps improve the quality and taste of your water, reducing common contaminants and delivering purified water at the perfect temperature. At the end of the day, it's about choosing something thoughtful that shows mom just how much she's appreciated. For more information, visit marissabrani.com.
Many families are starting to plan their next vacation, and beach trips are a great getaway, right? Well, travel expert Darlene Newman is teaming up with Visit Myrtle Beach, and she joins us now from Myrtle Beach, the Gulf capital of the world, with some travel advice. Hi there, Darlene. Tell us, what are some of the travel basics people should actually consider when it comes to planning out their next vacation?
A great vacation should be fun and memorable, but also easy to get to, budget-friendly, and packed with options. Whether you're into food, adventure, or you just want to relax by the ocean, Myrtle Beach delivers. There are more than 60 miles of coastline, new entertainment, and fresh dining deals, really for all budget levels. Right now, there's a Make More Myrtle Moments promotion going. You can book 3 nights and get 1 free, or book 5 nights and get 2 free.
Very cool. What's your best tip that you can give folks for a family vacation?
When you're thinking about planning a family vacation, you want to think about access, affordability, and flexibility. That's why destinations about Myrtle Beach are just so great, because there's value, there's variety, and convenience. Myrtle Beach is located within a day's drive of half of the U.S., and there's also upgrades to the airport. It's newly renovated. You've got Brooklyn Gardens with upgrades, the Myrtle Beach Pelican Stadium, and lots of great lodging options, like right here at the Ocean Escape Boardwalk.
You know, it's gorgeous right behind you there, too. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a great place to do some golfing as well. Where can folks go if they want to find out more information?
You can check out visitmyrtlebeach.com to plan your trip and look at travel discounts.
That sounds fantastic. Great place to check out. Love Myrtle Beach. And want to thank you there for joining us. We're going to post this interview on our website. You can go there anytime, dailyflashshow.com/FMI. There you'll find links and more information as well.
Pistachio is everywhere this spring, from food to fashion. Is it a trend or here to stay? Lindt Master Chocolatier Ann Chaya joins us now. And why are pistachios having such a moment?
I think its moment was long overdue. Pistachio is such a global flavor, and we've known about it, in culinary and in confectionery for years. And to see it in the forefront, it just brings me great joy.
Is pistachio just a trend, or is it here to stay? And what makes it such a standout, especially in truffles?
Well, I think it's here to stay. It's timely, of course, but it's also timeless. So it is a beautiful, sophisticated, subtle flavor. Pistachios have a little bit of sweetness to them. So that paired with our premium milk chocolate, we've created this beautiful Lindor truffle to add to our Lindor family. So I'm sure you're familiar with the milk chocolate Lindor truffle. Now we have the pistachio milk chocolate Lindor truffle. So it's just such a fabulous experience. You bite into it and that smooth melting pistachio filling it's bliss. It's a blissful experience.
And where do folks go for more info?
Well, for more information about the Lindor truffles and our new Lindor pistachio stick, you can go to lintusa.com. And of course, you can find us at major retailers across the country.
Thanks, Anne. We'll post that info on our website, dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson.
In the tense 72 hours before D-Day, the fate of the world hangs in the balance. This is today's must-watch movie, Pressure.
Tiger was a training op, dress rehearsal for D-Day. They walked right into it. One mistake. Just that one mistake.
Ike, you have to stop doing this to yourself. What's done is done. Group Captain Dr. James Stagg, here at the express request of General Eisenhower.
Do we have a date yet for the invasion zone?
D-Day is in 61 hours from now. This is the largest seaborne invasion in history. Fate of the war, thousands of lives hinge on this. I need a forecast. Churchill tells me you're the best meteorologist in the country.
Get me the latest readings from every single base within 2,000 miles of Normandy. The invasion's confirmed for Monday.
Oh, they won't like this.
We are faced with a succession of 2 aggressive storms.
Are you absolutely certain?
D-Day will be calm and sunny. I couldn't disagree with that more.
If D-Day is cancelled, we will lose this war.
The final decision on the timing of D-Day will be mine, and mine alone.
If you invade tomorrow, they're going to be washed away.
300,000 men with families that they may never see again. Why should I trust you?
We must face the facts! The facts, however frightening they may be!
If we delay...
The enemy will be ready and waiting. They'll slaughter every single last one of us.
The storms that I'm talking about are real, and the wrath of nature is real.
You wonder about the name. Mainly, it's based around a meteorologist. They had to get a weather report over to the Allied forces. That's what this is about. And Brendan Fraser playing, of course, Eisenhower.
So good. That does it for us. Be good, everybody.
Bye-bye, y'all.